All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's Static Podcast. Let's go ahead and get to this sponsor real quick before we get this thing started. Tune in, tap in, call in. Yeah, hey, check this out. Like Birdman said, we did it already. We did it already. Hey, what's going on out there? My name is James Mack.
And it's the fantastic one, Mr. Flowers.
And this is the Status Podcast. I always say the status. But yeah. And we broadcasting live right here from Miami, Florida. Brickell, Miami, Florida, to be exact. And if you're in the area, you need to stop by every Tuesday at 8 p.m. You can catch us live, God willing. And then, you also can catch us, when you catch us. But, here we go. One more week. All right. And this show is pre-recorded because we had some things that we had to do during the week. So we won't be taking call-in guests this week. But, we got a good topic right now, right? And the topic is this week. What does black owned really mean to you? What does black owned mean to you?
Well, I want to first, before we get into any and everything, say happy Black Owned Business Month to you, brother.
I ain't know it was a thing. This is something new to me.
We made it. But,
right.
But yeah, so, it is Black Business Month. Something that was started back in 2004 by two historians.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But of course, it didn't come to the forefront until after 2020, the George Floyd protests and all that stuff, who put awareness, shine the spotlight pretty much on America. And then, of course, as you know, NBA, NFL, all of your major corporations, Coca-Cola, all of those people, they started actually putting money into black-owned businesses or sponsoring black-owned businesses.
Where that money at? Because I ain't seen Coca-Cola. Where yet?
And so, yes, so this is what you would call, Black Business Month, shining a light on the 2.4% of the of businesses here in America, which is a very low percentage, by the way. People.
Yeah, of 100%.
And that equates to 2.6 million Black African American businesses.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot compared to what?
Well, compared to on the flip side, you have 86% of white-owned businesses here in America. And that actually usurps the actual population percentage, because the population percentage for whites is like 70, 73, 72, 73, somewhere up in there. So you got 72%, 73% of Anglo-Saxons, Caucasian Americans, and 86% businesses, whereas you're talking 2.4% of African American businesses, which equates to 2.6 million African American businesses here in the United States. So we have made the 2.6.
Wow, you dropping the numbers. Mr. Flowers dropping the numbers tonight.
So yes, but black owned, as you know, I'm pro-black, pro-black everything, and black owned businesses in my from my perspective is extremely important. Black owned business carries the neighborhood. Of course, it carries the cities. And then, of course, we actually as a culture spend $2.2+ trillion a year in monies to Gucci and all these other companies. Why can't we put some of that 2.2, I think the number is 2.2, into some of our own businesses?
So what if they just say, Mr. Flowers, your stuff ain't good enough?
Well, of course it's not, or and sometimes I'm not, my stuff per se. I don't sell anything tangible.
Yeah.
I sell money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my money is good, just as good as the white man's money, but it is what it is. So, but when you start talking about the quality of things, I mean, you can actually go to Walmart or Target and buy some stuff that's actually a better quality than most of the name brand stuff you purchase. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have the name on it, and so because it doesn't have the label or the name, you don't quantify it as much, as you don't put the emphasis on it as much, because it doesn't have a name or a label. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so I was always told to get quality, not quantity.
Facts. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to, as the jewelry store, you know what I'm saying? And so James Mack is just as good as a quality, or just as expensive, or whatever the case is, as the Jared's, or as the Mayors, what's the other one?
I don't even know.
K's Jeweler, all the ones you see in your malls, right?
Okay.
So you got the K's, you got the Jared's, you got the Bayers, you got the Mayors, you got all these other people, but the same stuff that they're selling in Dubai,
right.
The same stuff they're selling over in Africa, the same stuff they're selling in Jerusalem and Israel. It's the same stuff you have here in the store.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But because you don't have a chain, sort of say, in every department mall, or every Simon's Mall, or whatever the case is, you don't have to upcharge as much as Bayer or Mayer or K's, or whatever the case is, have to.
Right, but that's coming soon though. We're gonna raise these prices. You can go on jamesmackdesigns.com right now, get something now.
So make your jeweler black, and my jeweler is black.
You know what I'm saying?
So come on, support the black owned business, and make it pop.
So is it? So we know it's a trending thing, to support the black owned businesses. But do you think people are really consciously like, you know what? Let's go to the black owned restaurant. Let's go to the black owned, jewelry store. Let's go to the black owned boutique.
Some are, but for the masses, no, because you've been programmed by commercials. Right? The slogans of the commercial. You see you watch, you sitting at home watching your favorite TV show or its favorite programming, whatever the case is, and sponsored by, or you see that fancy Nancy singing, or the baby, or whatever the case is in the commercial, you go run to what you see the most. Right. And so I'm gonna drop a little known fact. The reason why I wanted to actually do this, outside of it just being Black History, not Black History, but Black Business Month, I come to find that those J's that's in the songs, that's on every commercial, that everybody's sporting, right? Those J's, Michael Jordan do not own the Jordan brand, right? So he literally makes a percentage, a royalty from every pair of Jordans that is sold,
right?
And that royalty is $5 to $10 a pair, right? Now that's a great thing, because you're talking 5 million pairs of Jordans being sold every 11 minutes here in the United States.
Wow. that's some selling right there.
You know what I'm saying? But which is why he's a billionaire.
You
know what I'm saying? But he does not own the Jordan, which is I found, because I thought once he literally started putting the logo on the shoes, took the Nike swoosh off of the shoes. I literally thought, and maybe it's just my ignorance, but I literally thought that he literally at that point became a owner. You know what I'm saying? He might not have been a sole owner, but I thought he became a owner of the Jordan brand. That comes to be false. He literally only owns his name, like Michael Jordan. So you have a Michael Jordan Steakhouse, you have the Michael Jordan golf course, you have the Michael Jordan. So anything that has Michael Jordan attached to it, he actually owns that. So he has a trademark on his name. Right? And so even with the NASCAR, per se, if you notice, there's not Michael Jordan, or there's not Jordan brand on its 2, 3 the actual sports, the car, the NASCAR, what's called is 23, right? So that takes Nike out of the equation. He owned him and Hamlin and it's another partner, but they own that. But Nike doesn't own that. However, Nike does still get paid for that because the logo is on the car.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so the logo, so it's Nike sponsors the car, and then of course the elephant print and all that kind of stuff with the logo attached to it actually is a sponsorship of the NASCAR brand. So Nike still gets a piece of that.
So I definitely see you've been changing it up with the black cat from the golf course. He got the black cat now, the panther. The black cat, that's what it's called too.
Right.
And he doing different things with the fishing boats and with the golf and things like that.
Motorcycle racing.
Black cat 23. But I ain't necessarily feeling them.
You're not feeling what?
Jordan.
Why is that?
I think you get to a certain level to where you, even though he have put a couple urgent care centers in the hood in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think that with a lot of the small businesses in Charlotte, that it could be a little bit more outreach on his part or his organization to help African Americans get more into business, because as we see in Charlotte, it's being gentrified to the point to where you have a very small window of opportunity to get a prime space in this retail environment or this restaurant environment. So I think we need more representation from big wigs like himself, but a lot of times these dudes just worry about themselves.
Well, I can honestly say, though he doesn't do a lot of stuff in the spotlight, he does do a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Okay, like what?
You know what I'm saying? So he does have his own, he does have a what do they call it, philanthropic side to him. So he does a lot of stuff with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He does a lot of stuff from a perspective of he does pour money into Wilmington. I mean, is that where you from? Wilmington?
I believe so. Yes, Wilmington.
He does pour a lot of money into
New York originally.
But he grew up. His father, his mother, all of them grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And so he does put a lot of money back into the communities. And he is more of a what you would call a mentor versus someone who you would just, like a Magic Johnson, who you can just say, "Hey man, help me with XYZ." You know what I'm saying? So Magic Johnson is more friendly, more in the public eye, in the public view, so forth and so forth. And yes, he does more as from a Magic Johnson theater, from a Starbucks, from real estate now, because he's into real estate. Even the healthcare system, Simple, I think it's called Simple. That it's Simple. It has a blue logo. I can't think of the name of it, but he actually does a lot. But he actually goes, believe it or not, to Jordan for advice. You know what I'm saying? And so Jordan is more of the mentor for these people versus, hey, I'm just gonna give you and let you go blow this money.
Well, I want to chime in on that too, because I got a close relationship with Jordan brother, Mr. Jordan, Larry Jordan.
I was just gonna say Larry.
He has spent money with me. Mr. Larry Jordan has spent a lot of money with me. Shout out to him. Mr. Fred Whitfield, which is Michael Jordan right hand man, that helped him close the deal on basically all what he got for the most part.
Right.
That's his right hand man. And that was my mentor. Because he, I met him by having the kiosk outside in the epicenter, and Mr. Whitfield go back and forth from the CVS to back over there, and I met him.
Right.
And he showed me a lot of love. He kind of fell off the radar. I've been emailing him. I don't know what's up, but he showed me a lot of love. So I said that to say, one of his other real powerful pieces or real powerful players is Mr. Whitfield. That's because he a lawyer and he the president of the Hornets. You know what I mean? And he cold at what he do. So he helped Jordan buy the team and get it up to $2 billion from $200 million. That's my favorite right there.
Right.
And his brother is very cool and very down to earth brother too as well. But I'm salty though, and maybe I'm salty, because I think that as African Americans, when a lot of African American brothers get to the top of business, they don't really reach. It's a limit to how far they really gonna, extend that hand and lift some brothers up. Now, I don't expect, Jordan to, buy nothing from me. I just don't. You know what I mean? But that will be a good thing. That would be a good thing for, these influential individuals to start reaching down and buying some of this stuff from us. Because if you got all this money, why you not? Somebody told me, I was talking to a brother. Okay, let's get to it. I was talking to somebody. Y'all ready? Let's get to it. Please, it's not a call-in show this week, but you can still comment. Let's get some comments. We'll address it next week when we, seriously live, but still. A brother told me that you can't expect these stars, these athletes to buy anything from you if you're not giving them anything for free. And he went on to kind of cast some doubt in my hustle and in the way I do my business, saying that they not gonna mess with you in the jewelry business because they going to Johnny Dang because he'll throw them a free $10,000 bracelet with a situation. And I'm thinking to myself, number one, you're a hater, but number two, why would you be programmed to think that? You know what I mean? Like, it's a certain level of this business I look at, Mr. Flowers, and I heard a lot of people say, well, why we can't support? Well, we not gonna support this black-owned business if they're just going and buying stuff from the Chinese man and then slapping their name on it and then reselling it, right?
Well, that's what the major corporations do.
That's what but the audience don't know you said that, but okay. So that's what the major corporations do, right? Louis Vuitton, Nike. Let's just take Nike in general. They, do business in America, sell to your black self every day, but yet all their merchandise is made in Vietnam or Pakistan or somewhere like that.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but let me say this, because I remember in 1999, I'm showing my age a little bit, right? So I remember being stationed in South Korea, being in the military, of course, and that's when FUBU was like the shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember vividly being able to purchase custom-made FUBU shirts for $5. You know what I'm saying? And literally getting custom-made J's to go with those FUBU jerseys for $10. You know what I'm saying? And so at that time, most of the stuff was being made in South Korea, right? And so I said all that to say, yes, I could literally have family members send me pictures of Gucci or send me pictures of Louis Vuitton or send me pictures of whatever the case is that they want to have made and take it to these representatives over in South Korea, have them custom made to fit them, tailored for less than $50, $100. You know what I'm saying? These are stuff that's in GQ magazine or stuff in Vogue or whatever the case is that costs thousands of dollars over here in the States, but over there I was getting stuff made for less than $50, less than $100. So I said all that to say, yes, the stuff is made over there. It's marked up incredibly once they get to the United States, because these businesses, the Dillards and these major Macy's and all these other stuff. You know what I'm saying? The one right here up the street. What's the name?
Saks on Fifth.
Saks on Fifth, and all these places mark these things up so they can keep their lights on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you notice, anytime you each one of these stores has a discount store. Okay. Right? And so it's $200, $300, $400, $1,000, whatever the case is, in the regular store, but it eventually works its way down to the discount store, the Rosses and the you know what I'm saying, the Marshalls and so forth, where you can buy it for $15, $20 because they still need to get some money off of it. So if I can market from $1,000 to $30 and still make money off of, what does that tell you? That it's cheaply, you know what I'm saying? It only costs cents to $1 to make it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so if I can sell it for $30, I can still make money off of it. So I mean, that just goes to show you that. Yeah. So I said all that to say, and I know it's a long list, round the way, but yes, absolutely. So it's pennies to dollars to make it, but they're marketing it up tremendously just to sell you guys.
And y'all think it's better, like you all. But the point of that, what we just spoke on, is that they, for those that do buy their merchandise from China and put their name on it and sell it as a black-owned product. All the big brands, mostly all the brands, do the same thing unless it's made in the United States, and that's something we're doing too. By the way, is making our stuff in the United States, actually here in the factory. However the case may be, you support these brands at these astronomical profit margins, and you wonder why they have the ability to market the way they do, to have influencers the way they do, and just to grow the way they do. But you don't put that same energy. You won't stand in line. I haven't seen, please put in the comments if I'm wrong. I have not seen, and I've been around, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, Las Vegas, just recently. I have not seen a line at a black-owned store waiting on to get in and buy some of their products. We devalue ourselves as a culture, right? And there is some token carry, some other black brands that you definitely can sponsor, but a lot of that is for sure that we don't have those budgets to be able to do that mass marketing like we need to do. You know what I mean? We're also on side of that, where's the pride in saying, you know what, Gucci product, man, I'm wearing this black bag, I'm wearing this black owned bag, I'm wearing this black owned shoes, I'm wearing these black, and it's hard to find, don't get me wrong. Yes, it's a hard thing to find, but when you do find it, why you just don't buy it? You know what I mean? Why you just don't purchase it? Oh, I found it, I like it, let me purchase it.
Well, I think it's the crab in the barrel slave mentality.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, you do have certain individuals. Beyonce is a prime example. She likes to do wear a lot of black, designer clothes. Michelle Obama, she'll wear a lot of black designer clothes. But you don't see that becoming a trend.
It's not a trend.
You know what I'm saying?
The black jewelers is not a trend.
Right. Because Jacob the jeweler was a black guy, right?
No, he is from Turkey.
Oh, okay. So I misquoted, so I stand corrected. But
or Uzbekistan or something like that.
But I can say Dapper Dan, right? So Dapper Dan in Harlem.
Okay.
Right? So all of your major hip hop guys,
right,
used to go to Dapper Dan to get their jacket, the old troop jackets and leather clothes and all that kind of. They used to go to him to get their stuff made,
right?
Even their suits that they started wearing at once upon a time,
right?
But Dapper Dan isn't that household name to where the regular average Joe can actually go and purchase something from Dapper Dan.
I think part of the reason is
so it's an exclusive thing versus a major thing.
But he never really launched his own brand though. He always remixed Louis Vuitton, remixed Gucci, and made different outfits out of their materials. So that's where he kind of fell off that way. And I actually went to his spot and everything in Harlem and everything. And then he, went on to get the Gap deal, and sold out a couple times. I think they just about to release another one. But what is wrong with folks these days, man? I don't get it. It's like, first of all, you get X'd out, of these big brands and stuff like that. I noticed in Dillard's, they had a Black Week where they had a couple brands in, and they was, able to show their stuff off on one day. Why you just can't put their stuff in Dillard's? You offer them one day for a pop-up and put a table out to showcase their brands instead of just putting their brands on the rack. Right. Now, maybe they are not able to scale that much right now. Who knows? I don't know. But what I do know is, why Dillard's is not backing these companies to go ahead and help them in production. These are the type of ideals that I have. I'm like, if you having money, put some money behind it. Listen, I'm in the jewelry business, guys. You can go to jamesmackdesigns.com, or you can catch us on Instagram at Oh, right down there on the screen. And here's one of the things I tell guys all the time. What is the point of you? It makes you feel so good to go and spend, you know, 100,000, 200,000, half a million. Oh, I spent $1 million on a watch, right? On a necklace. You spent 50,000 on some earrings, whatever the case. And they're not giving you any of the secrets of the game. They're not exposing you to any of the business. They're just taking your money, right? But this is what I'm telling you. And a lot of people may not know about people like myself, but you'll learn about it. You're gonna learn about us. Why don't you bring that same 100,000 to someone like myself, and let's make a jewelry brand? And I can show you with all that profit that they just put on top of those earrings you bought, we can make four pieces of earrings for that, for the cost that I get them for, and then we can start off a brand, black owned, and you can get into business versus steady. Get Johnny Dang, Icebox. These individuals, and I'm just talking jewelry right now. These individuals are proud of their culture, Mr. Flowers. When you see these people, they're proud of their Laos or their, Southeast Asian cultures. Mm-hmm. And they show that, when you see pictures of them on their Instagram and things like that, they're with their families. They're supporting and they're celebrating their culture. You see? And they're not necessarily helping any of the jewelers, and I can't say they're not, but they don't, a lot of these, and I'm just talking about companies in general. Now, a lot of these companies don't help out the minorities, help them get to where, like the next level. Does that make sense?
Well, most of these companies help you get to the next level, but they put you in a corporate setting and let you like become a vice president or become a manager. You know what I'm saying? So you pretty much work for them versus you allowing you the money or the access or the knowledge to branch out and get your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's just another mechanism of keeping you under wraps.
Because, when you look at Levi's and when you look at, we're going to get into the Gucci's. I got some news for y'all. We're going to get into the Gucci. But when you look at Levi's and these type of other companies, we actually started companies like that in the 1930s and the 1910s and stuff like that. Black people did. But when you have the Tulsa, Oklahomas and the different Black Wall Streets, where we had those products, where we started to build that revenue process, guess what? They got destroyed.
Absolutely. We talked about that the other day. But yeah, so one of the things again, anytime what I hate about us as a culture, and hate is a strong word, but what I hate about us as a culture is we do not stick to our guns. Once we get to a certain level, we'll just sell it off. Bob Johnson sort of say, with BET. So you get to a certain level and you sell it. And then of course, you make more money, but now your baby is now in the hands of the other team.
Right. And I see what you're saying right there.
And in most cases, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? We literally build something to a point.
Right.
And then we sell it off.
Okay.
To go try to start something else that doesn't become, in most cases, in a lot of cases, not in all cases, but in some cases, that does not become as successful as what it is that we sold off.
And I'm so glad you said that because, a lot of the German brands, a lot of the, Italian brands, Italian brands, they don't do that. So that brings me to my next point. When all of y'all standing in line, you like, ooh, I want to get this Louis bucket hat, or I want to get this Louis belt or a Louis purse. Guess what? Not only are you supporting, and you've been supporting, and you've been helping Louis Vuitton get to the level where they at, because they only can do this with your money.
Not to mention Louis, Gucci, and all of those were manufacturing.
Yeah.
Hitler.
Oh no! Don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder yet. Wait, I was getting there. I'm getting there. That was still my thunder. I'm getting there.
Okay.
So, you know, when you all standing in line and they don't even want you in the store, really, they like, stand in line, come in the store. What you want? What do you want to get? You're not getting any exceptional service. They're not showing you. They don't want you in the store.
I was just going to say, because a lot of times, even if you go to Midtown over here, Wynwood to the Gucci store,
they not letting you in the store.
Oh my goodness,
they literally are not letting you in the store. You need an appointment, so quote unquote, you need an appointment, but they not letting you in the store. Period. But they not letting white people in the store or black people.
Prior to the pandemic.
Right.
If you went into a Gucci store, like if you go up here to Aventura,
right,
per se, or if you're in Charlotte, you go over to
South Park, right?
South Park. You go into these stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're watching you.
Yeah, off top,
like a doggone hawk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so it's like,
and some of y'all need to be watched.
Right.
Just gonna keep it
but you know what I'm saying. Just the environment, the, you know what I'm saying. As a black man walking into these stores and having to pretty much prove to them that I can purchase the stuff that's in the store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, it's crazy, man. It's ridiculous.
And the thing, but we got to set something straight too now. When we say this Miami store and the Wynwood, well, you have to understand that, okay, we're talking about, and if you come to Miami, you're going to realize what's happening very fast with the Wynwood and the Design District stores. Okay, you have a situation where gentrification has become overwhelmingly, a major thing. So this Design District, where they have these beautiful Louis Vuitton stores and Bulgari and all these different high price stores, this was once a black owned neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Little Haiti. Okay, black owned, and they have transformed, I want to say a 3-block radius, maybe 4-block radius, carved it right out of the hood. Okay, because once you leave one street, you're back into the hood, and before you get there, you're in the hood. So they have carved out this area for these high-end retailers. And how can you put millions of dollars worth of merchandise in the hood and expect the hood not to try to get some of it? In some way or some fashion, so that's what we have there. But let's get back to.
I was just gonna say that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's
because what I'm saying. Of course, they go in the hood and buy it up because, of course, the property value is low. So I can put these $1 million stores or these $1 billion stores into these in these communities because you've taken down through black on black crime, so to say, or just run down homes. You've actually taken the property value down. So of course it's easier for me to come in and offer you some money to say, hey, sell me your house for XYZ, and it seems like a lot of money to you, but it's really pennies to a dollar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And put these major developments up.
Yeah, they getting ready to smack the whole house down and put something brand new up, and you done lost out on your legacy, and that's the reason why you don't have anything. Some of you. So let's get back to Louis Vuitton, because you sporting your Louis, you like, ooh, well, guess what? Louis Vuitton is not for black people, period, point blank. When they first started in Germany, they were in Paris, they were representing and with the Vichy regime. That was part of Hitler's, like, their highest level of, social status, the Vichy regime. And they made clothes for them and dressed them. This
my brother right there walking with a Burberry cap on. He just don't even know.
We should go. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
so this is they have been a white owned, not only white owned, but a German European brand, and they made luggage for the armies of Hitler and stuff like that, and they continue to make stuff that's trendy in their fashion. They're not making things for you, or they're making things for them but they'll smack a Africans, not even a black African American. They will put an African, shout out to my Africans, y'all doing big things and they know it. And that's why now you see the blackest person on Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci. You want them? That's not an African American. That's an African. Right. They didn't skip past African Americans. Y'all ain't got no money.
Because I talking to a lot of Africans. I talk to a lot of Nigerians and Ghana, Africa. How you pronounce it? Ghanaians.
Yeah, Ghanaians.
Ghanaians. I speak with a lot of them, and a lot of them go to Dubai, or a lot of them just go and just sport, the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and all that stuff over there. So they live in the life over there.
And both of us been to Dubai, and we can vouch for that. I've seen rich African men and women. When I went to Dubai, and it blew my mind. I encourage you all to go to Dubai and go to the Middle East, because you think that it's just terrorists and they want to paint this picture of, just you're gonna cut your head off. When I was getting ready to leave, people was like, you don't need to be going over there. They ain't gonna let you leave. They gonna
right.
Now, if you out of order, they gonna get you. You might not leave. If you out of order, you might.
Well, there's a strong misconception,
absolutely,
about Africa as a whole,
and
then of course as the Middle East as a whole,
right?
Because of course America has painted that picture.
They painted the picture
through history books and television and so forth.
Right.
But you never see, when they show outside of Black Panther, you never see the luxury parts of Africa. They only show you the poverty-stricken parts of Africa.
But when you go there, you see rich Africans that's never been to. We were on an elevator with a guy from Nigeria, and he lives in Dubai, and he's been living in Dubai, he said, for over 10 years, right? And this was an impeccably dressed gentleman. I was like, man, he was a sape. A sape is a real fine dressed man. They originally get the style from the Congolese, the Congo dandies, but this is a brother that Africans, they well dressed
to the T.
They will. And I know we kind of getting off the subject, but if you go on YouTube and you look at some of the Congo dandies and you see their parties and the way they club in Africa is nothing like how we club here. They club and they'll go and they'll buy the Chanel, the Gucci, and throw it on the floor, step on it. The way they represent is totally different. They'll throw the Gucci glasses on the ground, crush them. You know what I mean? Real stuff, right? Real stuff. And they're showing you that they have wealth. And when you go to Dubai and places like this, you see, man, they are wealthy. Now, are they selling out the land and making money to the Chinese, to America, to Bill Gates, to these different people? Potentially. But they are making money.
It's just, their government is extremely corrupt. So that's all.
But they have land. They have what we don't have, right?
Yeah.
If we would have got our 40 acres in the mule, then we would have had things that we could sell now with natural resources on them, right?
But we look at it from an industrialized perspective. They don't look at it from that perspective. They look at it from, you've been robbing us since the 1600s, 1600s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they still are kind of in that mindset.
Right.
So yeah, they still have the land and they still have all of the government structures and so forth and so forth. But the government needs to, or the personnel that's running the government over there wants the money so bad.
They want it. They want the infrastructure. I'm gonna tell you something. I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but Africa is going to be the most modern. It's gonna blow Dubai out the water.
Yeah.
It's gonna be America. Forget about it. You think it's nice here. You think these neighborhoods nice. You go on YouTube, and I keep telling you, go on YouTube, but you go on YouTube and you look at some of these master plan communities in Senegal, in Ghana, in Nigeria.
But that's why they killed Gaddafi, though.
Potentially.
Well, Gaddafi was getting ready to bankrupt the world.
Yeah, but that we talking about, 100%. But I'm talking about as far as the infrastructure and the new modern age of design, like it's in Africa.
Well, everything comes from Africa.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
even the how they credit the Italians, but the Moroccans actually taught them how to dress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Mali Empire actually taught them. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
So it was
talk that
so
talk. Yeah.
so the alligator shoes and
Yeah.
the sharp, all that stuff come from the Moroccans and the Mali Empire.
However, they are buying a lot of designer clothes, so the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, they look at these numbers. They looking at the numbers and they seeing where is the most money coming from. Where, okay, we got the United States, but who is buying Gucci and Chanel and Prada in the United States?
We are.
But not really us.
Well,
the Africans in our demographic. You said
in America.
In America. It's not the African Americans.
Right.
It's the Africans, who really got that money like that really can buy these things and not be worried about it. Not really be, afraid because they rent may not be paid after they get done paying for this stuff, However the case may be. I also want to say,
well, I think I fought I literally fought the hip hop culture on that.
Okay. Good luck with that.
I mean, yeah, I don't need no luck. But the hip hop community has pushed certain fashion trends on the population.
I'm glad you said that. Just like they can push the black owned trend, just like that if they really wanted to, and that comes from the people. If you really wanted to push this black owned brand, James Oro, people know who the James Oro is with the glasses.
Right.
If you really want to push these brands, you can do it. But you're so brainwashed, you think that everything that the Chinese man make or the white man make or the Indian man make is so much better than what your brother make. But are we really showing you what we making? Now that's a thing too, because that's what I'm starting to do. And I'm not making this personal, but I want to show you exactly that we making the jewelry.
And why is it that anytime you make it somewhat successful in America, you got to start, alcohol business?
Alcohol, they ain't gonna stop drinking.
They ain't gonna stop drinking. But it's not productive to the culture.
That's true, but they ain't gonna stop drinking. Why would you start a clothing brand? Why would you start a food company?
But everybody, Kevin Hart, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Diddy, everybody's, The Rock, everybody.
It's most definitely a numbers game. Look at alcohol.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it don't cost nothing to make, but you chose get some money.
Actually pretty good too.
I'm gonna have to try that. I want to get to a couple of these names though. See, because y'all go in these stores, and I'm guilty of it too. All right. I go in the Hugo Boss store and I'm like, okay, I like these shirts. Then I look at the price tag. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Y'all want $200 for this polo? Okay, cool. I ain't buying it, but cool. Hugo Boss. I didn't know in 1930, Hugo Boss is the people, the business, the family that actually designed and manufactured the Nazis' uniforms.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
1930 Hugo Boss, all those Hitler, Nazi, square pants, high boots, riding boots, all that, coats, that was all Hugo Boss.
Mm-hmm.
And you represent that when you put it on your head. When you put that black t-shirt on with Boss on the Hugo Boss, you're representing the Nazis. You don't know that, but you need to wake up. Because why you want to represent that? And then they tax you for it. They want $100 a t-shirt. The real stuff. We ain't talking about no Ross. Come on, y'all. When y'all come get one of these James Mack t-shirts for $65. But then you'll come in and be like, oh, this is a t-shirt. Why it cost $65? Why do it always gotta be a why it cost that? We need our revenue just like they need their revenue. We're not giving you, and that's another thing I want to address too, is when people really, really look at the quality of something and try to measure it up. We don't have those same connections they do.
Well, I just started in the beginning where they're saying most of your high-end brands,
mm-hmm.
the quality of it is not really that good.
It's trash.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
It's boo-boo. For an example, a True Religion. Oh yeah, that's
True Religion clothes is garbage. Period. You wash their shirts one time, it's gonna look like trash.
I can literally go to one of these mom and pop stores, gas stations, whatever case is, and buy a t-shirt,
a True Religion t-shirt,
and buy a t-shirt and put True Religion on it, and you would never know the difference.
You wouldn't know it because it ain't no, they pants baggy and soggy.
Change the tag and put a doggone put a imprint on that.
Anybody that got that True Religion know they wear that True Religion 1-2 times. It's a wrap.
But that's the case with most of your high end brands, though.
Right, but we need to start respecting the black owned high end brands, because when we put this stuff out here and it's coming soon, jump on that. Be so inclined and so proud to wear that. Say it loud and proud. Yes, I bought this. This is a black designer, black clothing brand, black jewelry brand, black jeweler, black everything, because every other culture represent their thing the same way.
Listen, man, if you go out here to Biscayne, right?
Yeah.
Even if you, whatever neighborhood you go to here in Miami, let's just use Miami for example, right? You're going to see the Cubans repping their Cuban stuff. You're going to see the Haitians repping their Haitian stuff. The Jamaicans repping their stuff. You're going to see all of these different the Dominicans repping their stuff. So, and each store in each community has, they're repping their culture. They got their own foods. They got their own clothing. They got their own barbershops, the whole 9 yards. Why can't we as a community do the same thing?
Exactly. Because your mind has been programmed a certain type of way to hate yourself, brother. Anyway, Coco Chanel, y'all like that Chanel, huh? They like them Chanel bags. Guess what? Chanel collaborated with the Germans in Paris to make bags and things for them, and they was one of the first boutiques in Paris that was representing the Nazi signs. So y'all gonna keep wearing that Coco Chanel because they don't like you. All y'all been doing is making them rich, filthy rich. Why you think Rolex is not even a real company? It's a charity in Switzerland. They don't pay taxes in the United States. Nobody knows who the real owners is. You never can count their revenue because they don't have to report to the United States. Get yourself together. Why you got your Rolex out? You don't even know nothing about it. You don't know anything about Rolex, but you proud to wear it. But you put one of these James Mack watches on your arm. Coming soon. I don't think I'm gonna we working on that right now. Let me get to this. Let me get to this last one, because this last one is real serious. Okay. Cristobal. Y'all don't even know the man's first name, but y'all rocking it. And I almost bought a pair. I ain't gonna lie, but I had to slap myself. Well, I'm gonna spend this money and help these folks out. Cristobal Balenciaga. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Flowers? Balenciaga.
I got some on right now. I can't even talk.
You do got the Balenciagas on right now. You do. So you repping a company that made dresses for Hitler's granddaughter.
Man. Okay.
And got plenty support for the Nazis.
They comfortable as hell though.
Is they really?
Yeah, they comfortable. So
you couldn't go with the black owned brand?
When I find a black owned brand that is comfortable as this is, then I rock it.
Okay, so what I want y'all to do
somebody send me a pair of comfortable black owned shoes.
Send you, or you gonna buy them?
Well, I'll buy them, but okay. I'm saying send me a name.
Okay, can we get somebody in the? Actually, I got one for you, Christopher. The brother named Christopher. He on Instagram. He got the black owned shoes, but he get them from China though.
I don't care where you get them from.
Okay, good. That's what I'm talking about.
As
that's what I'm talking about. We don't care where you get them from. Here's the thing. You have to go out and find materials. You have to go out and find products. This stuff don't come this easy. The Chinese people been working for many years. They have warehouses all over China. They have industrial equipment made specifically to make shoes for you to wear. This is what they do. We haven't been privileged enough to be, because what happened was when we was in slavery, they had these type of things. They made the clothes in the north and picked the cotton in the south.
Well, you know what I found out?
Yes, sir.
And this is way off topic, but I gotta say, because you just submit that.
Okay.
Cotton is not a native of America.
Okay. Okay.
Cotton was brought. But cotton is an African Middle Eastern fabric or plant.
Yeah.
And when you know what I'm saying, so they literally brought cotton with them over here to planet, which is why they came and got us. Or which is why they came and got us, because the blacks or the Africans were already accustomed to managing and cropping cotton. I just found that out like 2 days ago.
That's deep. So they brung your black self with the cotton and set up shop and made all type of clothes and t-shirts and everything and made us do it. Made us make it. We, part of this, what I want to say, we have to get back to manufacturing. Listen, if you in your house, buy you some fabric, buy you some leather, and just start making something.
Well, they took remember, I don't know if Midwest, I don't know how your school system was set up, but I remember growing up in high school actually, and then having home ec classes.
Home ec, yeah.
They don't have home ec anymore.
They don't have home ec. They ain't got shop. They ain't got nothing.
And so
they got police department class.
We literally had to take at least 2 semesters of home ec,
learning
how to sew, how to cook, all that stuff, right? And so that's not a popular thing anymore. People would much rather just go to China or search, companies on the web that's manufacturing and purchase it from them versus making it themselves.
And they gonna rip you off. They gonna tell you gotta buy 1,000 pieces of 500. That's why Chinese people, shout out to y'all, there's no disrespect, that's why Chinese people so rich, right? They ain't gonna buy nothing from you wholesale here in America, but you can buy something from them wholesale, and they get their money up front. You gotta give them their money up front.
Well, it's a rarity now in 2022. Most things is that there's a percentage of things that's made over here, but nothing 100%. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing. Very few things that's 100% made in America anymore.
We making jewelry 100%, and our bags is 100% made in the United States of America. And we're gonna keep that wave going because we want to bring awareness. And there's a lot more people out there making hair products, making bags, making clothes. Come on, let's do this. This is the new industrial revolution.
And also, what I also want to talk about is, not just black-owned businesses, but you got black marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they have you fooled thinking that black people make it or it's black-owned, but a black person just advertising. You know what I'm saying? And so you're still making money for the other team because you're thinking Michael Jordan or whoever is, is the owner of that particular company. You're being
bamboozled. You're being led astray, hoodwinked. You've been programmed this certain type of way. Listen. You have to get back to support. If somebody got a little corner store in the hood or some black owned, somebody got a little car repair place.
Don't use the word little. That's minimizing.
But it's something. It be little. It's little. It's little.
It's used small.
It's small. It's little. But sometimes it's big. No, I know some car repair places. They got 4 or 5 days. They doing it. I take my older cars there and let them work on it. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you got to be careful who you let work on your car. All right. But when it comes to the clothing, if I see a clothing brand, I'm jumping right on it. I'm getting right on top of it. I want some pieces, even if I don't wear it. There's a lot of pieces that I bought recently that it's not even my style. T-shirts, jogger suits. Give me one. Give me 2 of them.
But let's go a step further. Right? Okay. Let's go a little deeper. Right. So we need to start banking with black-owned banks.
You know what? The black-owned banks, with one in particular,
or establishing more black-owned banks.
The one in particular that I'm thinking of, and I'm not gonna say their name. They in Charlotte though. It seems like they have a harder time lending out money than the regular banks. When the PPP thing was going on, they were saying go to your local, the NCAA and the Chamber of Commerce was saying go to your local black banks and deal with them. Well, I went there. I'm like, okay, look, I'm coming to y'all first. This is what I'm trying to do. Well, if you're not a member, then we can't help you. Cool, I become a member. Yeah, well, we're gonna see, and I mean, the whole process was just so cumbersome that I was like, you know what, I gotta shoot over here to Wells Fargo and get this thing, because before y'all, by the time y'all get finished, they gonna be out of money and I ain't gonna get no paper, and I barely got some, but I'm just saying. So I say all that to say, yes, we do need to do more black-owned banking, but they need to loosen up. I know they be afraid to lose, but what I really wanted to say is their money is low too. You know, with the black-owned banks, they don't get that same funding because banks get funded too, and they only have to have. And I could be wrong with this statement, but I think that most banks, especially when they start up, they only have to have 10 to 15% of the real money to be backed by the FDC, the FID. What is it?
The FDIC.
Okay, the FDIC. So that means that they can bring in all those deposits and everything, but they only have to really keep, or to start it, they only need 15% of, you know, the amount that they, you know, trying to start the bank with.
Right.
And you will know more about this than I will, because I'm not in finance.
So, but what happens? What if, right? Let's use a what if scenario. Just what if blacks in droves march their money from Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, Fifth Third, TD, whatever the case is, right? Regions. I know Regions isn't everywhere, but I'm just trying to name some of the, you know, the well-known ones. In droves, take their money out of those establishments,
right,
and march over to the black-owned bank, right? At that point, then you have these massive accounts, you know what I'm saying, these massive accounts being established, number of accounts being established,
right?
The Uncle Sam, the Federal Reserve, the powers that be, they will have to at that point play fair,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if it's just scarcity, 1 or 2 here, you know, 3 or 4 there, or whatever the case is, then of course I'm not gonna put emphasis on it, because let's just play banking.
And if we was do that, it'll be some serious things going on. But since we don't have the audacity,
and why? And I'm sorry, but why isn't? And this is just a thought.
Yeah.
Why isn't our black churches banks? Why? You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely wouldn't bank in no black church.
No.
I'm definitely not banking in no black church.
But if you have a black church, and it's a black church in basically every black community in America, right? And most of your patrons at some point or another might need some assistance or some help.
True.
Right?
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so why and black patrons of those churches are paying tithe. You know, I know it's a big issue right now about tithing and whatever case is from creflo dollar, but they've been tithing, putting into the building fund, all this kind of stuff for decades, right? And so what are they doing with that money? I asked that question because if you actually put that money into a banking system, and then when the patron needs to have a light bill paid or come and withdraw some money from, you know, your banking establishment at your local church, you know what I'm saying? Now you can fund the community. Now you can actually put money into that school, because of course this, you know, the community pays taxes for that particular school, right?
Yeah.
And so you put money into the school systems, you put money into the you know, to the barbershops, the stores, the grocers. You can actually literally build that community up through that central financial hub, which, you know, which is most people in that community go to anyway. Most people put money into that church anyway, right? So why wouldn't you at that point? And we just discussed what it takes to create a bank, or to establish yourself as a banking system. So if you did that, then we wouldn't have the situation or the community disparities that we have now. You could then start growing your own communities and make them the Biscayne Keys, or the Brickell Keys, or the higher end communities, right? Because you have your own banking system coming out of that community.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with all that. You know, if the banking is right, then, you know, But a lot of the black-owned banks, well, this one in particular, one other thing that I ain't really feel about it is, number one, they didn't really have no online banking. They didn't have their online banking situation set up, and then I didn't really know how the deposits were going.
Was it a newer bank?
No, it's a legacy. It's an older bank that's been around for a long time, since the 1900s. But they stuck in the 1900s. You know what I mean? They ain't really put the money back into them. You know what I mean? Back into the technology. You feel me? So I'm looking like, man, y'all ain't updated the bank. Y'all ain't got no online banking. Like, this ain't working too well. I don't know if I really want to. And then y'all said no anyway. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So but they're still, they have their own issues to deal with when it comes to getting funding from whoever they need to get funding from to be able to push out the loans. One thought I did have when you were saying that is, I remember watching a movie called The Banker. I don't know, have you seen that movie?
On Apple TV.
When I seen The Banker, I was like, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Why it should be a banker or some type of representative in here right now at your place, like, hey, what do you need to operate efficiently? We're gonna go ahead and sponsor that, and we're gonna go ahead and sign off on, because it's one person making the decision. So when they look at your business and say, okay, Mr. Flowers, you have the trucking company, it's look like you definitely need to scale up. You definitely need some working capital. You definitely need some marketing, material money. You need 100,000 to really operate your business. Okay, Mr. Mack, we see this. You need this. You need some more inventory. Oh, you ain't really got the big diamond chains like you needed, and you need that right now. Here's 200,000. Go and make that stuff and do what you got to do, and we're gonna give you this amount of time to start paying us back. That's what we need in our own community. Because when I go to the white-owned bank, and I'm like, I really need this money to be able to do what they do. I'm sitting across from a white person, like. So, but the numbers don't justify why we need to do this or that and other. And it's like, man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to help you understand that if I had this amount of capital, I will be able to do these things that would increase revenue. Period. But we don't have those type of opportunities.
But you just solidified my point, and I thank you for that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, again, most of your communities have that particular entity in place, a structure in place where they run to. You know what I'm saying? Black folks have been taught over centuries to run to God, right? And so we run to the church for everything except for what we really need, which is some money. You know what I'm saying? Because of course people say money ain't everything, but money is right up there next to oxygen. It's hard to breathe when you ain't got no money.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but the church is not releasing money to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The church is just telling you to get on your knees and pray. You know what I'm saying? Or they pray with you, but they ain't giving you no money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm talking about. If we had structures and entities like that in our communities where, yes, since you're running there anyway, and establish it as a banking establishment, and now I can help my permission my people that come to the I forget the term for it, but I can help the people that come to the church. And then not only can I just help the people that come to church, but now I can help the schools that's in my community. I can help my businesses that's in that community. I can even help the entrepreneurs that are looking to start businesses in my community. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm trying to say. But I've always wondered, why isn't it already like that? I'm almost certain that those older communities, the Tulsas, the Wilmingtons, and you know what I'm saying, the community that was in Central Park, where they tore down and made Central Park, or Lake Lanier. I don't know the actual name of the community, but that they flooded to make Lake Lanier. I'm sure those communities, black communities that was thriving, had structures like that already in place. They had to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if that was the blueprint, why haven't we copied the blueprint?
Right. And that's a good point you made right there. once again, we want to let y'all know that we're talking about, what does black owned mean to you? Black owned business, black owned companies, black owned neighborhoods. What does that mean to you? Because a lot of times that's just floating over people's head. Oh, it's black owned, okay. What's next? But this is something that we really need to take serious, because if we don't start getting something for ourselves, we don't start acknowledging our efforts and our different trades and different, but let me say this real quick while I'm thinking about this. Some of the black owned people is not doing the right things or not up to par. Right. So I'm trying to build a duplex right now from the ground up. And we specifically, me and my business partner, we specifically sought out a black owned builder.
Okay.
All right. We looked at some white builders. They was, they was on point. One was he was a little bit smart at it, but they was on point. The brother, he came through, he brought his paperwork and everything. So long story short, we ended up going with him. He ended up getting approved to build the duplex in Charlotte, right? That was last year.
Okay.
This brother still ain't broke. This brother still ain't finished the foundation to the duplex yet. He is like 6 months behind schedule.
Did he have other? He
did have others, and that was, that was one of the things that I was worried about in the first place. I'm like, brother, you sure you're gonna be able to do this on time and handle this?
So what was the time frame that was given though?
1 year. Well, it ain't really no time frame on a build, but it, we all came to the agree that it take about a year to build this.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But the last 6 months, it still haven't been no real progress. Day after day, it's like, okay, what's happening now? Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, we're gonna do that. But the staff is not there. The people now, is it a lack of funding on this part that he don't have the money enough to hire more people to do what he got to do? Because some of these construction companies, man, they have thousands of people on the payroll to get many jobs done, and they can steady advance, like they can steady grow.
Is it a major company, or is it
I mean, the brother got some. He not a major, because I don't think a lot of black owned stuff is not major. We started from the ground up, so we knew the brother wasn't a major builder, but he didn't build. He had some examples. He didn't build some stuff.
Well, I can say through, of course.
Let me just finish this real quick. So that really kind of, now we have to fall back to the point of the fact of the brother didn't have his stuff together. He is lacking. Now we have to revisit it. Is this brother really gonna be able to finish this project? It's almost $1 million project. Is he gonna be able to finish this? And is he gonna be able to finish this on time? Well, he ain't gonna be able to finish it on time now, but is he gonna be able to finish something like this? Because if you can't even get the foundation going and correct, and we put this money, we believe in you, brother.
Okay.
And you're not stepping up. So I say all that to say that a lot of times that we got the little man right there. That a lot of times that we don't really, due to all that we have been through, or due to whatever the case may be, a lot of it is not enough funding. Like we were talking about, we don't really be able to bring that full value like we need. You know what I mean?
Well, I what I was going to say, is this: in this day and time, and what we're calling a recession, right? Which is not a recession; it's a reset, but we're calling it a recession, right? And so there's a lot of companies, especially real estate companies or contractors, who, because supplies have gone through the roof, they're having a hard time keeping personnel. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for the brother.
Right.
What I'm saying? I'm just making, obvious.
Yeah.
Supplies is going through the roof. It's hard as, crap right now to hold on to good people. And so forth. And then, of course, the weather is, ridiculous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so those factors might...
The weather been fine, by the way.
But those factors plays a part into that.
Right.
And maybe his funding is not, where it needs to be. Because
the build is already funded. He don't need no money. because every time he get ready to order something, it come out the draw from the money that's already sitting there off the loan.
Okay, but what's the turnaround to get it done? I mean, what can it's not instantaneous.
Pretty much it is. When he order it, they release the funds with our approval. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you finna buy this amount of XYZ amount of wood. Okay, cool. Go ahead and get this money.
Gotcha. So I can't make the okay. I'm trying to justify the brother, but okay.
Ain't no justification. The justification is brother ain't on time.
Well,
and I even fall short of that. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I got jobs. I got 2 jobs right now that I'm not gonna make the deadline because I don't have enough staff to do it. It's just being honest. I don't got enough funding because if I had the staff to do it and I could pay them, it'd be done. The profit margins would be higher. You know what I mean? I'm working every day because I don't have enough working capital to go ahead and put somebody in here, multiple people in here full time. Now, part of that is I don't want to do it too for different reasons. But, when you go to your Kendra Scotts or your David Urams, you ain't never seen him. He ain't in there. But yet y'all buying his product.
Okay.
Somebody helped this first store get off. Somebody helped this second store get off. Now they like 50 plus stores. Kendra Scott, somebody bought, because part of that is them, part of them is them supporting each other.
Right.
Right. And making sure that when they do see them selling something, that they buying as much as they can, or they buying the high price piece, or they buying the highest price piece. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at with it, Mr. Flower.
I hear you. Just you're justified in your thought process. But there's an old saying: closed mouths don't get fed.
That's facts. No, that's facts. That's facts. But also with that is
and
hard.
that was I hate to cut you off, but I think that's another thing that I feel is detrimental.
Yeah.
To our community.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Is because we would much rather tough it out than to ask somebody, hey, do you know of, or do you know it, or if you know what I'm saying? We don't like to discuss what's going on with us, or we don't like to talk about certain things because we don't want to seem a certain way.
That could be
our pride is a motherfucker.
That could be for certain things.
Not saying in all cases, but
yeah. But I think that in these environments, that certain conversations need to be had with certain people. Like, you just can't be asking anybody.
You can't indulge your information to everybody, but
they don't know what the hell they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when you get around them circles or them bankers or these network events where people is in position, you better let your lips fly.
Right. But I do think that's very extremely detrimental to our community, as well as entrepreneurs and business owners in our community, because in a lot of cases, versus going to people and asking for something, we would much rather let that motherfucker shut down.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
Or we'll let the motherfucking wheels fall, all the wheels fall off before we say something. Versus just saying something. I heard somebody say something one time. I think it was Steve Harvey, if I'm not mistaken. Why come and ask? I'm not talking about you personally, but the saying was, why come and ask? No, it was Bernie Mac. Why come ask me for something when it gets that bad? Why didn't you just come ask me as soon as you realized it was bad?
Well, I can't really on an entrepreneur level, and that's what we're talking about. I can't really agree with that one all the way per se, because especially in the African American community, and talking about in our peers and all that, we only got 2.4% of African American businesses in the first place, right? So who you gonna ask? Your peers, your guy, your friend? Like, the only person you could really ask and really tell what you got to tell to is a lot of times is these white people that's in position, because a lot of black people is not in position to help you, and they should not be giving you no advice anyway.
I hear
you know what I mean? You have to be equally yoked or be above that level to be like, okay, you having this issue because of this. But if you're in the hood, or if you're in a small community, or you in the, you got a community business, you ain't got no business asking them for no information anyway.
But it's always good to have allies.
But that's strategies of war. That ain't necessarily, you know what I mean? That's not necessarily
that's business 101 too. Because if I got
what is an ally though?
An ally is, you know, someone of
Mr. Stan.
An ally is someone that I can run to, talk to, whatever, you know, get confident, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is, whatever I need, I can go run to that person. Or if I just need to discuss some things, I can run to that person or those persons. You know what I'm saying? And so I think because we have black owned businesses, we feel like we got to keep everything black.
I disagree.
You got to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're saying like white people too,
right? You can go, you know what I'm saying? There's some cool, you know what I'm saying? White establishments, some cool.
That's facts.
Middle Eastern establishments. You know what I'm saying? There's some cool, you know, Hispanic, you know, establishments. So why put all your eggs in one basket? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a black owned business. As long as you're not selling your business to these people, you know what I'm saying? And keeping it black owned, it's okay to have them have a percentage of the company. You know what I'm saying? Or it's okay for them to have whatever until you can pay that back. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I dig it, but you know that if you gotta make sure you finding the right type of individual, right? But if you be able to do that,
but if you just want to keep 100% of your business, then hey, do what you got to do. But it's okay to have 95% or 98%. You know what I'm saying? Or it's okay to have.
But who is? I guess my question would be, who is really out there? You know, giving the extending the hand, saying, "Come on, you black-owned business, we're gonna help. You know, come on, you know."
That's what networking is about.
Facts. No, that's facts. That's 100% facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's possible.
Because I was always told your network equals your net worth.
That's facts. That's
you know
facts.
What I'm saying? And so that's why you got to keep a network.
True. You got a point right there. And we would love y'all to leave something in the comments on this one about this topic, because Mr. Flowers just spoke of something that was extremely profound, you know, and I made up a point. But what do y'all think? You know, what do you think when you know, what does black owned mean to you? What are you thinking when there's a black owned business and you see them at the march? We don't have a lot of money to be working with a lot of times, you know. And then what I see is when people get up those levels, then they shy away from the black people and kind of start patronizing the white people who already got the money. Well, I don't understand that. Can you help me with that?
I wouldn't say start
patronizing. They going to the Coco Chanels. They going to the Balenciagas. They going to the Christian Dior. And we just talking retail. We just talking retail. They going to the Hugo Boss.
Okay.
You know, they going to the white-owned banks. Okay, they buying from the white realtors a lot of times. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going to the white restaurants, white-owned or Italian-owned restaurants. You know, they're buying cars from, you know, a lot of times white car salesmen or white car. I really don't want to get on the car thing because that's a technical thing, but
there's not too many. There's not a black owned. Actually, the first car was actually a black owned car before Ford.
Fact, I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah, before Ford came up with, you know, with the type A, type 1, whatever it was, you know, he actually I ain't gonna say stole, but he actually got the design or got the information from a black owned car business that was already established. So that was the only black car ownership or black car company that I can actually remember. Not saying that I haven't been in, of course, you know, I come from the car business.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of any or seen any black owned car companies other than that one that first established that actually had the first car. But with all that being said, I just, like I said, black owned business is a major thing. I think we as a culture, we just have gotten so acclimated to not having black businesses around outside of, you know, the mom and pop stores in the community or the barbershop.
Got so acclimated to it.
You know what I'm saying? And then of course, we are so programmed through television. That, you know, we run and go, like I said earlier, to the companies that's showing all of the stuff like the Macy's and all that stuff on television.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even some of your hair care products, which is where the vast majority of the black owned businesses, I would probably say, is or was at one time. But like Maine, for instance, the the young lady who created Maine, she actually sold that company to a white establishment.
Okay.
So she's no longer the young lady who developed and created the product. She's no longer the owner of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's so many different companies that was created and started by blacks and that was sold off.
Right.
And so whether you're still utilizing that product or patronizing that product or patriotic that product, you're not even putting the money in her pocket anymore, or their pocket anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the detriment to our community. We started, get it to a point, like I said earlier, sell it off, and then try to go recreate something else, and it doesn't become as successful as the original thing that we actually started.
Right, right. Yo, this is a serious topic, y'all. We want y'all to, leave something in the chats. Leave some comments on this one. We want to know what y'all feel. I know we didn't touch every aspect of it. But we the main gist of it is we're not supporting African American business, and I say African American business, Black American business, as much as we need to. We got to do much better. When you go to the store, you need to think twice, and we need more help from the government. Well, I hate to say that. I'm not even gonna say. I don't know why I just said that.
Well, I think we need to get back to the old school. Because back then, when grandma and grandma then was coming on, they had the green book.
Yeah, the green book. That's what Mr. Stan just told me about the green book.
They had the green book. They actually got a movie about it.
Yeah.
So anytime you would travel or anytime you went to a city, those companies, the black-owned businesses, was inside the green book.
Yeah,
we don't have that.
Well, we do have that in the Chamber of Commerce. They do have a book. It's nothing. I understand what you're saying. It's nothing really that's really
accessible.
Yeah, that where you can. They do have the Buy Black Instagram page and stuff like that, but it's nothing that you really can pick up nationwide. Because he told me they used to sell them at Citgo and the different gas stations along the way.
Right. And so, you have the World Wide Web.
Okay.
Right. But nobody has literally taken the time to put something together like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To make it accessible for everybody.
Right.
And that's a problem. And you know what I'm saying? And so you miss out on certain black hotels and black restaurants and black clothing, department stores, whatever the case is, as you're traveling, because you don't know about it.
Well, y'all gonna know about James Mack fine jewelry and accessories. You dig? You gonna find out.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Like there's nothing that's put together that's accessible to the masses.
Yeah, that's true what you're saying, Mr. Flowers. You bringing up a real valid point right there, and that's something that somebody need to get on. I don't have time for it, but somebody out there need to put together a green book, black book, something nationwide.
Well, just call it what it was. You know what I'm saying? Just utilize the old name for it.
Because you know what I found out, Mr. Flowers? I'm glad you said that. When I go on Instagram and I see these different Instagram pages put together for black people, like I Love Blacks or Planet of Blacks and these type of things, they'll jump into my DMs every now and then and ask me, do I want to advertise with them? And I'm like, first of all, where are you guys located? And a lot of these are Asian companies. A lot of these are Asian or Middle Eastern or wherever, and it's some African scammers on there too. But a lot of these are Asian people that's very smart and behind the scenes, and they're behind the black promoting of these brands on their Planet of Blacks, I Love Blacks, Black Businesses Rock, whatever the case may be, and they're making a very sizable income off of you not knowing, because they have like 1 million subscribers or 1 million followers and these type of things. So those are fake, but they still could be valuable. But those are not even really black people running those sites.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of money.
Yeah.
In the black, in the black
Tons.
community. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If someone decided to put this, book, this green book together, right? From a 2022, 2023 perspective.
Yeah.
Right? You know how much, and they charge a nickel. Just say they charge a nickel.
Right.
Right? How much money they can actually conjure up through charging people a nickel. You know how many, how many people will actually literally buy that book for a nickel.
Wow.
And how much income you can generate for yourself just for putting some information together.
Wow, Mr. Flowers.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of opportunity for African American, entrepreneurs. And I'm giving a
you
token
giving the game,
you know what I'm saying, to somebody. But there's so much that can happen. There's so much that can take place. There's so much opportunity. But we are so work minded.
Yeah.
That we don't have the time to put certain things together because I got to go to work.
Yeah, that's true indeed, for sure. That's facts. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
facts.
So, but you can find time to sit down and watch Housewives of Atlanta, or you can find time to watch these doggone, TV shows and the Shy and Power and all these other things.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You can sit down and take a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? Because these shows is an hour long.
Right.
You can sit down and take a whole hour and some.
Right.
To watch Netflix and all this stuff. But you can't take time to make $1.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And you got a point there.
So that's all I'm saying. And like I said, I'm not trying to preach to the choir.
Okay.
But I am pointing my finger at all of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because, you know what I'm saying?
At myself.
Because that's one of those things that, we have to, like I said last week, and I keep saying, it's the mindset of our people.
Right.
Once we change the mind, once you expand your brain, you can that brain cannot go back to its original form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to reprogram
okay,
our mindset.
Yeah, I'm with that, Ms. Flowers, and I'm also guilty of not doing the best for the African American community, but I do try my best. And when I do see, and that's one of the problems, when I do see the black-owned brand, because I just don't go on the internet and just buy anything I see, because you just can't do it like that. But when I do see the black-owned brands, if I go to a function or something, I'm buying, period. Even if it's nothing I need, I'm buying it. I bought some women's stuff, I bought some men's stuff at the last function I was at, just trying to support. You know what I mean? I'm just supporting, and I ain't have nothing to do with it. I know some of the stuff I bought that my family, they ain't gonna mess with it, but I bought it anyway. I wasn't on the, oh no, bro, I don't need that though. But just buy it anyway, man.
And shout out to Shanita, right? And Shanita is a young lady who's she's a football player who has her own sneaker. And she is the first African American woman to
and she's been selling out.
Have her own sneaker deal.
Yeah.
And she just was put into Champs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now they're selling her shoes in Champs.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. I know she travels a lot, so if she's ever available, we'd love to speak with her.
Absolutely.
But amazing young lady from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Doing major things. Big shout out to her.
I seen her on something.
She's the first female, not just African American female, but she's the first female to have a major shoe deal like that.
Wow. And we can do it, y'all. We can do it. Let's start taking those flights over to Indonesia. Let's start taking those flights over to Vietnam. Let's start taking those flights over to Singapore, Egypt, Dubai, Israel, all these different places, so we can get our own resources. Because we go over there and buy it ourselves, then you can't say we bought no Chinese stuff. Even if we go to China and had them make it, we're actually doing the leg work. We're actually going over there. I'm not going to China no time soon, but I am going to Egypt. I am going to Dubai again. I am going to Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, and it seems like if they don't blow the place up, that Taiwan is going to be somewhere in the future that we're going to need to frequent, because they have all the technology. They got the microchips, they got the semiconductor industry, It's a reason why they over there right now trying to broker them deals, because they know China is going down, so they trying to get in right now with Taiwan, and we need to get in with Taiwan. You want to make some electronics? You want to be on the front line of making your own cell phone? You want to make your own camera? You want to make your own 3D glasses, AR, augmented reality lenses? We need to actually take these flights over there.
The metaverse.
You know what I mean? COVID is over now. We can go there. You know, we need to go to Brazil to get the leather if we want to make the bags. We need to go to Buenos Aires, get the leather if we want to make the bags. You may never know what else you might run up on. That's how the owner and the guy from Tom's Shoes, he was traveling the world on some hostile, on some living in the hostels, you know what I mean? And he bumped into somebody making those shoes for the low, and he came up with the ideal. He went back, and then look at him. Tom's is
everywhere.
Stupid, you know. And I remember when that first started.
I was selling shoes at that point.
That was like 2000. I want to say 2002, 2003, maybe even 2004 when Tom's bust out. And I was looking at him like, man, them some karate shoes.
I wasn't selling shoes at that point.
You may not have been selling them.
I was 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
When I was managing Foot Locker and Finish Line, at, two separate years.
Yeah.
That's when Tom's was literally being flooded into the store.
That's when they first came. That's when they first was being flooded. But they was being flooded. The market around 02.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that just came from him, you know, sacrificing having the freedom to live in South America, and ran into somebody that had a small shoe factory and went from there. So I say all to say, you know, a lot of what's holding us back from, you know, manufacturing or getting our own products is traveling. You know,
some passports.
I'm telling you, when I went to Dubai, I found jewelry makers that had the big factories, and I'm like, who y'all make jewelry for? Oh, we make jewelry for this company. We make jewelry for that. For real? Oh, okay. Hey, if you deal with the Arabs, they still black people. Let me just keep that real.
Your mind will literally change and grow and expand once you get outside your comfort zone.
That's facts.
Right. And so once you start taking these trips, and you don't, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to go over there for, you know, because we're so stuck on I'm going over there to party.
Yeah.
That we're not going over there to study.
Get some business behind yourself.
You know what I'm saying? And so I also want to put on that list of the long list that you just, you know, the countries that you just stated. Go to the whole, I mean, just whatever, just pick a country in Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to West Africa. You don't have to go, you know, Sierra Leone or Ghana or Nigeria. You go to East Africa, go to Tanzania, and so forth. You can even go to Middle Africa, the Sudans and so forth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
be careful though.
You know what I'm saying? It's not as bad as people think. But you know, just pick a country. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just go to. You know what I'm saying? Because the first step is to go.
It is. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the first step is to get the damn passport.
Gotta have that passport. Shout out to all my brothers that got them child support issues, man.
You know, get the passports and then go.
Yeah, go. And that's part of holding us back too. But we spoke on that on the child support. If you ain't seen the child support episode, go back and watch that, because we was talking about how that's holding brothers back from doing things like this. Right. You know, I was held back for a lot of years because of that situation. I had finally got it rectified and was able to get my passport and get the moving about. And I'm like, woo. Once I got the moving about, I'm like, oh man, I've been missing all this for all these years. I'm telling you, you know, just even going to like Jamaica and stuff like that and seeing the different things that's going on over there. I'm like, man, I could take some of this back. Everywhere I go, I always feel like, oh, I could take some of this back and get this, you know. But you know, hey, let's step our game up. And I know we're doing that. We're gonna have more topics about stuff like this, because we need to talk about this more, because this is some serious business. You know, we have to get our community, our people, ourselves up to that next level. How can we do that, guys?
So yeah, man. So we definitely got to step our game up, and expand those horizons. Because we're missing out on so many different business opportunities.
Billions.
Because we're stuck in our neighborhoods.
Billions. We got to stop watching Diddy and them on TV, and we can beat them. You know, this new generation. It's hard to run a business. It's hard to start this, and if it ain't in you, it ain't in you. But at least spend money with the businesses. At least buy something from them.
Because I literally met a young man who was a traveler.
Yeah.
Who sold alcohol.
Okay.
To different countries.
Mm-hmm.
And we was talking one day, and he was telling me like, man, it doesn't take much to open up a winery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it doesn't take much to establish your own. Matter of fact, you can just partner with this person, or you could just do. And he was giving me all the game
right
for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just having a sit down, and we was literally watching a ball game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we was just sitting down having a conversation. He asked me what I did, and I asked him what he did.
Right.
And that's how. And it was a a white individual.
Mm-hmm.
Free game.
Free game.
Game is free.
Yeah. Again,
a closed mouth don't get fed.
Facts.
If you walk around with an attitude, if you walk around with your nose stuck all up, and you just don't, or birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
So if you just hanging out with cats that you just already know and grew up with, or whatever the case is, they can't tell you nothing that you don't already know.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They can't take you to the next level.
Right.
So get outside that again. Get outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Stop walking around with your face all balled up like you the hardest cat on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you ready to whoop Mike Tyson.
You
both know that ain't gonna happen.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just, you know what I'm saying? It just be free.
Right.
But that's what's up, man. And so again, what's the time check? Because
we ain't got no time on this thing, but we gonna close it down, yo. We gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let you go ahead and wrap it up, good brother.
But I just want to say again, shout out to all the black-owned businesses here in the United States. The 2.4 that it is, the 2.6 million black-owned businesses that it is.
Yeah.
I want to say shout out to all of you guys.
Right.
Shout out to yourself. Shout out to myself. The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
This is Black Business Month.
Right.
I hope it's coming to an end. I hope everybody's business was successful.
Mm-hmm.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
And let's create some more.
Yeah, facts. And make sure, if you want to get into the business of jewelry, if you want to, explore this jewelry business, because there's so much room for African Americans in the jewelry business, it's ridiculous. I created a class that you can go to and you can learn everything you need to know about, starting it to really making over 6 figures in a year. So what I want you to do is go to prosperwithjamesmack.com. Okay, prosperwithjamesmack.com. It's gonna look like it's gonna look something like this when you get on the page. Okay, you want to go ahead and either one or two things. Go ahead and go ahead and get the course. It's a 3-hour course. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. But I'm giving you nuggets that you can't get in this jewelry business just on a regular basis. So you really want to try to go ahead and lock in and get that. It's only $189. I'm giving you over $60,000 worth of game, worth of business techniques, worth of information. This is something where you could just take this course and start, with little as $1,000 and get into the jewelry business. So that's something you might want to do. Also, if you just want to do a $99 call, so I can go over your business with you and really look. I'm in business right now. We're at the James Mack store in Miami. We have a business in Charlotte as well, jewelry store. So I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing business for over 15 years in 4 different states. I have the resume to back it. So I can tell you and help you with whatever type of business you got, anywhere from healthcare to whatever. All the business principles are the same. It's just different ways you go about doing it. So let's get on the call. $99, that's nothing. You'll go and buy a pair of shoes or something like that, or you'll go to one of these restaurants and spend $2.99 for their food. So this is something that you need. I will do it. I've done it. I have paid millions of dollars. It felt like in coaching and things like that. So just keep that in mind. That's something that can benefit you, and this is the year of being able to benefit yourself with the knowledge. That's prosperwithjamesmack.com.
And if you guys are looking for finances for these businesses, just hit me up. Again, you can check out my link down at the bottom, scrolling down.
Yes.
I am actually a underwriter. Been doing finance now for about 8 years or so. If you guys are looking to get into a truck business, look me up. You go to Rivx, RIVX .com. So you guys can, like I said, just, I'm all about helping us.
Yeah.
I'm pro black. You know what I'm saying? And so anytime you guys need anything, feel free to give me a call. Even if you just have some questions financially, give me a call.
Yeah.
All right. And so again, if you don't have anything else,
that's it. That's all, folks.
It's a wrap at the.
You know to catch us next week. Tuesday, 8 p.m. on this channel. You already know. Hey, check it out. Hey, stay black. But also, we want you to know that it's okay to go ahead and really, really, really support your black-owned business. I'm gonna let you close it out for real this time.
Hey, catch you guys next week.